Welcome. I'm Sarah Martyn, owner of Exhale Massage and Yoga in Narberth, PA, and welcome to your practice. So hopefully you watched the short introductory video, just letting you know a little bit about what yoga is and what our goals are. Today this will serve as kind of an introductory practice, and then we want to set the lay of the land a little bit. So ideally when you are sitting down for a practice, you are in a space that is as free from distractions as is possible. So hopefully a fairly quiet room. If you've got unavoidable noises coming from outside, things like a white noise machine, a fan, some calming instrumental music can sometimes help to create a little bit of a filter between the outside world and where you are. And then you ideally want to be on a firm surface. Yoga mat is great. Blanket on the floor works well as well. Be in comfortable clothing. Have any props that might be helpful for you. So if you've got things like yoga blocks or a bolster, that's great, but even just a couple of blankets can work really well in place of some other props for sitting on, for cushioning when we're on hands and knees, for bringing the ground closer to you. So please feel free to pause this to grab whatever you think you might need to be comfortable. And then in each of these practices, we'll be working a little bit with getting grounded in our bodies, getting established in our breath, so important, moving our body in nourishing, helpful ways. Of course, at any point, if something feels uncomfortable, please stop immediately. One of the things with being on a screen is I can't see you, I can't hear you breathe, so I don't have those cues as a teacher. So I'm going to trust that you are going to listen to what your body is telling you feels right for it. And then we're always going to end with a guided relaxation, shavasana, and at least a brief meditation. I invite you not to skip this part. So much, especially digital yoga, is really just about the physical postures, and that's kind of the end of the practice. If each of our practices is like the creation of this delicious meal where we've gathered all of these wonderful ingredients, taken the time to prepare them in this loving way, shavasana or relaxation and our meditation is where we digest this meal, right? This is really where we digest, assimilate everything that we've done so that we can take it with us into the rest of our day. All right, so that being said, let's start on our backs today. This is my favorite place to begin. So come onto your back, perhaps with a blanket or a thin cushion for under your head to support the neck. And if you're super comfortable with your legs extended out in front of you, that's fine. But you may find that you're more comfortable with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent. And maybe bring your feet far enough away from each other that your knees can rest against each other. And that way you just don't have to hold anything up. Take a moment and adjust the parts of your body in any other way you might need to feel steady and comfortable. Let your hands either rest on your belly or alongside your body with palms facing up. And we begin by simply noticing the breath. Let's start to notice what it feels like to move breath in and out through your nose. Notice the parts of your body that find expansion as you breathe in. Notice the qualities of your breath, the length, the depth, the pace. And then allow that noticing to be an entry point to noticing the inner space of your body. How are you holding your body in space? Where are you holding pockets of tension? Where are you kind of holding up or gripping? Or where do you feel a sense of ease? Maybe you notice sensations in your belly, your digestion, or anything else there is to notice. And then begin to shape your breath, inviting it to be a little bit deeper, but not deep from a place of pushing or straining into making it bigger. Rather softening into deeper breath. Invite any sticky or tight spots to smooth out. And invite that breath to be continuous. Notice any hold between inhale and exhale, or exhale and inhale. And see if you can let the breath become almost circular. Take a few more rounds of this deep diaphragmatic belly breath. Really getting established in this slow, easy, full pace, because we'll want to take that with us. And then from here, let's start to find some gentle movement. So maybe you're wiggling into your fingers and toes. Allow your knees to start drifting side to side like windshield wipers. And then let's let this unwind into a full body stretch. So reaching arms up overhead, reaching your legs long, and begin to stretch through fingers and toes. And then maybe switch to stretching through the heels of your hands and your heels of your feet. Different feeling. Rotate, move into the ankles and feet. And then on an exhale, draw one knee and then the other in towards the belly. Just rock side to side or in little circles. And then roll off to one side. Rest in a fetal position for at least a couple of breaths. Before pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. Legs in whatever position feels good to you. I have mine in Baddha Konasana, heels together, knees open. Maybe you're cross-legged, easy pose. Maybe legs even extended out a little bit. Sit up tall. Let the eyes close or the gaze be soft. We're going to start to align some movement to our breath. So take your first big breath in, just let the belly expand, let it be soft. And as you exhale, tuck your chin round through the spine. Feel free to even kind of hold on to the legs a little bit. We'll take a couple breaths here as we find the seated cat pose. And then in the next inhalation, send the heart forward, elbows, shoulders might pull back now, looking up slightly as we find this little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, back to cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Keep going. Move with the rhythm of your breath. And remember this variation. So in future classes, we may often do cat and cow on our hands and knees. If you have any knee issues or wrist issues, or for any reason it's just not comfortable, know that you can always come here. Let's take one more round. And then come back to center. Let the arms drop alongside the body, palms facing forward. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, release them down. Inhale, reaching them up. Exhale, release them down. This time, inhale, the right arm reaches up. Exhale, let that shoulder drop away from the ear. Inhale, let the lift come through your side body. Exhale, side bend to the left. With every movement, every asana where we're creating space, usually we're either creating space, strength, or both. When we're creating space, it's important to remember that we're not trying to get anywhere. We're inviting sensation. So if my goal is to get somewhere, I might really try to come way, way over. But if I remember that I'm inviting sensation and creating space, I can feel out how backing off a little bit now keeps space through the left side of my body and creates this length through the right side in a way that allows me to breathe well, feels comfortable. Inhale, come back up to the top. Exhale, release the hand. Inhale, the left arm reaches. Exhale, drop that shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, find the lift through the side body. Exhale, side bend to the right. So again, how can you adjust little bits so that this feels steady and comfortable? And your breath is a great litmus test for that. If you can breathe well, smooth and even, then your body's probably in a good place. If you cannot, your body's telling you something. Listen to it. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the right leg. Right hand is close to the body so that the spine is tall as you twist. Inhale, come through center, reaching the arms up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come through center, reach the arms up. Exhale, release. From here, come onto your hands and knees, neutral tabletop pose. If this is uncomfortable for any reason, you can always adjust, right? Like once you know what we're doing with our body, what the movement is, kind of what the point is, we can bring this to all different kinds of positions. So for here, we're just going to let our hips rock side to side. So you can imagine that you could also do this standing up. And then come back to stillness and send that left leg behind you. Toes are on the ground, toes tucked under. Just gently lean back into that left heel, creating length through the back of the left leg. Are you still breathing? Are you still breathing well? And come back, release that knee, and we'll switch. Send the right leg behind us, toes tucked under, foot is on the ground as we lean back into that right heel. And then release. Come into child's pose, balasana. If you're comfortable in this posture, you can come right into it. You don't need to listen to me talk. But otherwise, we've got either knees about hip width apart, or they can come as wide as your mat, really as wide as you'd like. Big toes together to touch if that's comfortable. And then you want to anchor your hips back towards your heels. This is where you get the really lovely stretching through the low back. It's a little bit easier on the knees. When you start to lower your head and chest towards the ground, if you feel your hips picking way up, I see this all the time, just bring the ground closer to you. So if your head is not comfortably reaching the ground without your hips kind of losing their connection, then maybe you are crossing your forearms or stacking fists. You can put a block under your head. So invite this, create it to be as comfortable as it can be. Come back into awareness of your breath. Maybe feeling it a little bit more in through the space of the pelvis. Go ahead and come back up to hands and knees. If you have any knee issues, you are welcome to just have a seat on your bum. If it's comfortable for you, you're going to sit on your heels, hero's pose. This can give a really lovely stretch through the quads, right through the tops of the thighs, the tops of the feet. I really feel this. We take this opportunity to roll the shoulders down and back a few times. And then come on down. So with each of these practices online, they're going to be mostly 30 minutes or less. So no way that we're going to get our entire body in a well-rounded way as far as the physical practice. We want quality over quantity, right? So we want to take time in some really nourishing poses. So I may create them to be kind of different themes, special love for specific kind of parts of the body or focuses. Today, I just wanted us to feel the space of our bodies a little bit, bookended by always that grounding, establishing breath, and then our relaxation meditation at the end. All right, so we're going to come onto our backs. Oh, yeah, we're there already. And hug the knees into the belly once more, or maybe into the armpits. That might feel better. And then bring your feet flat on your mat with your knees bent. We're going to find a rolling bridge as our inversion today. Inversions are postures where the heart comes higher than the head. Lots of benefits. If you have a block, put it in arm's reach. So we inhale, we feel that softness of the breath all the way through the space of the pelvis. As you exhale, begin to press the low back into the floor and curl the tailbone up. Maybe the sacrum lifts a little bit. Inhale, release that down, press the tailbone in towards the floor. Exhale, pressing kind of your weight into the feet as we curl the spine. Maybe the hips lift a little bit more. Inhale, you lower. Exhale, you lift. Inhale, lower, and rolling the spine down. Exhale and lift. And now we hold. You choose how high those hips go. You can stay here or place a block under your sacrum and make this a supported bridge. Very important, this block is not in the curve of my low back. That would not feel good. It's lower than that. So your sacrum's that kind of flat triangular bone right at the top of your booty. That's where we want it to sit. That's what's going to feel helpful. If you're not finding a supported bridge and you feel like you need to come out of this before I cue it, please do. Again, just a few more breaths here. And if you've got the block, press into the feet so that you can lift the hips just enough to move that block out. Roll the spine down and just let those knees drift side to side. So we'll settle in for our final resting pose. Ideally, you want to be on your back, reclined with your spine in neutral alignment. So for many people, lying flat on their back with their legs straight out does not lend itself to neutral alignment. You get the hips kind of curling a little bit, especially if you've got some booty in the back. So lifting the knees a bit will help to keep that low back in its neutral alignment. But we want to release effort. So you can put blocks under the knees. If you've got a bolster, You can put a bolster under the knees. A rolled up blanket works really well. Or you can come back to how we began. Feet flat on your mat, knees bent, feet far enough away from each other that your knees can rest against each other. Get any cushioning that you might want under your head. And come back into awareness of your breath. But now letting go of trying to change it. Let your body rest into the support beneath you. There's nothing that you need to hold up or hold on to. And invite softness through the space of your face, jaw, through the back of your head, your neck, your upper back and shoulders, through your arms, palms of your hands and your fingertips. Soften through the spine and the muscles around the spine, from the upper back to the mid back to the low back. Through your hips, your legs, the soles of your feet, and tips of your toes. Soften through the pelvis, the belly, the chest, the throat, the deep center space of the head. Soften and relax the entire body. See if you can invite your body to really sink and rest into the support beneath you a little bit more. Nothing to hold up, nothing to hold on to, nothing to grip against. And then as we make our transition back into our day, we want to do it without, as much as possible, without startling our nervous system. So bring just some small, gentle movement back into the body. And take your time rolling off to one side for at least a few breaths. Before using your top hand to support you as you press your way up to a comfortable seat. Head, neck, and spine tall. Eyes closed, hands resting comfortably. Notice how you feel in this short practice. Hopefully your breath feels a little more spacious and comfortable. And your body feels a little more relaxed and at ease. And hopefully your mind feels a little bit quieter, even if it's just a little bit. May you take this with you into the rest of your day. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, perhaps gently bowing your head towards your hands in reverence for this practice, for this time that you created for yourself. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much. Be well and take good care.